sat around the massive circular table. Each delegation brought their finest military leaders and their most advanced warships. The meeting was supposed to solve the biggest problem facing the galaxy, the Void Hunters. Captain Kim Tahoe stood quietly behind Admiral Lee Sora as she took her seat at the human section of the table. His dark uniform looked plain compared to the colorful robes and armor worn by the alien representatives. At 42 years old, Kim had seen enough battles to know when someone was being looked down upon. Showed the same expression. They thought humans did not belong here. The Helian Empire delegation sat directly across from the humans. High Commander Vextari was a tall creature with silver skin and mechanical parts grafted into his body. Blue lights pulsed along his artificial arms as he whispered something to his officers. They all turned to stare at the humans and made sounds. That could only be laughter to the left, said the Taurian hegemony. War Chief Kranich was massive, easily 3 meters tall, with thick gray skin and curved tusks jutting from his lower jaw. Warriors. Kim noticed how the Taurian kept glancing at him and shaking his huge head. The Crystalline Confederation took up the right side of the table. Prime Admiral Zethlos was not solid like the others. His body looked like living glass filled with swirling colors. When he moved, light bent around him in strange ways, even without a face that Kim could understand. The alien's body language showed clear disrespect. Dr. Park Hae-won sat at a smaller table behind the main delegates. She was the chief engineer of Earth's newest warship, but most people in the room probably thought she was just another assistant. Park was 35 years old and had spent the last 10 years working on projects that would surprise everyone in this room. She opened her datapad and began taking notes on the alien technology being discussed. Commander Chue Minho stood near the back wall with other junior officers from various species. At 28, he was the youngest senior officer on Earth's delegation. His job was to watch and learn, but mostly he was trying not to show his anger at how the aliens treated his people. The meeting began with a holographic display showing the latest Void Hunter attacks. The images were terrible. Entire colonies had been wiped out. Civilian ships had been destroyed without warning. The Void Hunters took no prisoners and left no survivors. We have lost 17 colonies in the past 6 months, announced the meeting coordinator, a floating jellyfish-like creature from the Medusi Collective. Their attacks are getting stronger and more frequent. We need a combined military response. High Commander Vextari activated his own hologram. A massive ship appeared above the table, at least 1 kilometer long, with smooth silver hull and glowing blue weapon ports. The Helian Third Fleet stands ready, Vextari said, his mechanical voice echoing through the hall. Our plasma lance destroyers can cut through any Void Hunter bioship. We have 47 vessels of this class, each capable of destroying a small moon. Impressed murmurs came from around the table. The ship was truly massive and obviously powerful. War Chief Kranich slammed his fist on the table, making it shake. Pretty lights will not win this war, he growled. You need real weapons. His hologram showed a different kind of ship, shorter, but much thicker, covered in heavy armor plating and bristling with gun turrets. Taurian battlecruisers have kinetic bombardment systems. We throw asteroids at our enemies until they are dust. 63 ships ready for battle. Prime Admiral Zethlos created his own display without using any visible technology. Physical matter is a limitation, Zethlos said, his voice sounding like music played through crystals. Our vessels can phase through solid objects. Your primitive weapons cannot touch what does not exist in normal space. One by one, each species presented their fleets. Aquatic Union showed underwater-capable ships with torpedo systems. The hive mind displayed swarm ships that fought as a single organism. The Silicon Lords brought mining vessels converted into mobile fortresses. Each presentation was met with approval and respect. The aliens nodded at each other and made positive comments about various weapon systems and tactical advantages. Finally, the coordinator turned to the human delegation. Earth may now present their contribution to the joint fleet. Admiral Lee Sora stood up gracefully. She was in her 50s, with graying hair and a calm expression that never changed, no matter what insults were thrown at her people. Earth is proud to offer the UES Indomitable, she said. Captain Kim Taeho will present the specifications. Kim walked forward and activated his hologram. The ship that appeared above the table was much smaller than the others, only 400 meters long. Its hull was dark gray metal with a simple, blocky design. Instead of energy weapons, it had what looked like old-fashioned gun turrets and missile launchers. The silence that followed was not the respectful quiet that had greeted the other presentations. This was the silence of disbelief. High Commander Vexteri was the first to speak. This is what Earth brings to fight the Void Hunters. It was not a question. It was an insult. War Chief Kranek's laughter boomed through the hall. It looked like something my ancestors built before they discovered fire. Do you plan to ram the enemy ships? Perhaps they will throw rocks, added Prime Admiral Zethlos. Very large rocks. Other aliens joined in the mockery. The Aquatic Union representative made bubbling sounds that were clearly their version of laughter. The hive mind's multiple voices buzzed with amusement. Captain Kim stood perfectly still. During all of this, his face showed no emotion as the most powerful military leaders in the galaxy laughed at his ship. Behind him, Dr. Park continued taking notes, as if nothing unusual was happening. Commander Choi's hands were clenched into fists, but he remained at attention. The Indomitable may look simple, Admiral Lee said calmly, but appearances can be deceiving. Can it be more deceiving than this? Vextari asked. Your ship has projectile weapons. We stopped using those 1,000 years ago. Your hull is made of metal. Our energy weapons will cut through it like soft cheese. The power output readings we are detecting are pathetic, Kranek added. My personal fighter has more energy than your entire ship. Zethlos created a small light show above his section of the table. Perhaps we should assign the humans to guard supply convoys. They would be safer there while real warriors fight the Void Hunters. More laughter filled the room. Kim noticed that even some of the smaller alien species were joining in now. The ones who usually kept quiet during these meetings felt safe mocking the humans since everyone else was doing it. Dr. Park looked up from her datapad and whispered something to Captain Kim. He nodded slightly, but did not change his expression. The coordinator tried to restore order. If there are no objections, we will now assign patrol sectors to each fleet. I have an objection, Vextari said. Why are we wasting time with this human toy? Send them home before they get hurt. The humans asked to join this council, War Chief Kranok said. Let them learn what real war looks like. Give them the most dangerous sector. When they run away, we will not see them again. The Crimson Nebula sector, suggested Prime Admiral Zethlos. The Void Hunters are most active there. If the humans think they can fight, let them prove it. Admiral Lee stood up again. Earth accepts assignment to the Crimson Nebula sector. This caused even more laughter. The Crimson Nebula was where 3 entire alien fleets had been destroyed. In the past year, no single ship had ever survived there for more than a few days. Excellent, Vextari said. We will monitor your progress with great interest. What little progress there will be, Kranek added, as the meeting ended. The alien delegations filed out, still making jokes about the human ship. Captain Kim finally allowed himself a small smile as he watched them leave. You ready for this? Admiral Lee asked quietly. We have been ready for 2 years, Kim replied. They have no idea what they just did. Dr. Park closed her datapad and stood up. Should I feel sorry for the Void Hunters? Commander Choi joined them from the back of the room. When do we show them what the Indomitable can really do? Captain. Kim looked at the hologram of his ship, still floating above the now empty table. Very soon, he said. The bridge, watching the distant glow of the Crimson Nebula growing larger on the main screen. Behind him, his crew worked quietly at their stations. The bridge was smaller than those on alien ships, but every surface showed the careful design of human engineering. Captain, called Lieutenant Park Soo-jin from the communication station. We are receiving messages from the other fleets. Kim turned around, put them through. The first message came from High Commander Vextari. His mechanical voice filled the bridge with obvious amusement. Human vessel Indomitable. The Hellion Third Fleet wishes you good fortune in your mission. We will monitor your progress from a safe distance. Try not to embarrass yourselves too badly. The second message was from War Chief Kranich. Steep laughter rumbled through the speakers. Conned. Little human ship, the Torians are taking bets on how long you will last. Most of my warriors think you will run away before you even see a Void Hunter. Do not prove them right. Prime Admiral Setlos sent the third message. His crystal voice sang with mockery. The Confederation has assigned our fastest ships to rescue any survivors from your vessel. We do not expect this mission to take very long. More messages followed from the other alien fleets. Each one was filled with jokes and insults. Some aliens were even placing bets on exactly how the Indomitable would be destroyed. Lieutenant Park looked uncomfortable as she played each message. Sure, should I stop playing these? No, Kim said calmly. Let the crew hear them all. But they need to understand what we are really fighting for. Dr. Park Hae-won walked onto the bridge carrying a datapad. She had been working in the engineering sections for the past 6 hours, making final preparations for what was coming. Captain, all systems are ready for full deployment, she reported. The crew is asking questions about our real capabilities. How much should I tell them? Kim looked around the bridge at his officers. These men and women had followed him for years, but they had never seen the Indomitable's true power. Most of them believed the alien mockery was deserved. Gather the senior staff in the briefing room, Kim ordered. It is time they learned what kind of ship they are really serving on. 30 minutes later, Kim stood before his senior officers. In the small briefing room, besides Dr. Park, Commander Choi Min-ho was there along with the department heads. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Yoon Jae-sung sat next to Chief Security Officer Lieutenant Commander Bae-yoon-hai, Navigation Officer Lieutenant Kim Dong-woo, and Weapons Officer Lieutenant Commander Lee Jae-min completed the group. What I am about to tell you is classified at the highest levels, Kim began. The Indomitable is not the primitive vessel that the aliens think it is. Dr. Park, please begin the briefing. Dr. Park activated the wall display. The first image showed the ship's hull and cross-section. Our hull is not made of simple metal. It is constructed from metamaterials that Earth scientists developed over the past 10 years. These materials can absorb energy attacks and convert them into power for our systems. Lieutenant Commander Lee looked confused. Sir, if that is true, why did we let the aliens think we were weak? 'Cause surprise is our greatest weapon, Kim replied. Continue, Dr. Park. The next image showed the ship's weapon systems. Our guns are not simple projectile weapons, They are electromagnetic railguns capable of firing tungsten rounds at 12% of light speed. Each round carries more kinetic energy than most alien plasma weapons. Commander Choi leaned forward. How is that possible? The power requirements would be enormous. That brings us to our third secret, Dr. Park said. She showed an image of the ship's power core. We do not use fusion reactors like most species. The Indomitable is powered by a controlled antimatter reaction. We have enough power to supply a small city. The officers stared at the display in amazement. Dr. Yoon was the first to speak. Antimatter. That is the most dangerous substance in the universe. If the containment fails, it will not fail, Dr. Park said confidently. I've tested this system for 3 years. It is safer than the fusion reactors on alien ships. Kim activated another part of the display. Our fourth advantage is our artificial intelligence system. The Indomitable carries the most advanced AI ever built by humanity. It can process battlefield information and make tactical decisions faster than any organic mind. Lieutenant Kim whistled softly. An AI that advanced must be incredibly expensive. It costs more than most planetary defense systems, Kim admitted, but it gives us capabilities that no alien fleet possesses. Dr. Park showed the final image. Our last secret is our torpedo system. The Indomitable carries 48 antimatter warheads. Each one can destroy a ship the size of a Hylian destroyer. The room fell silent. Lieutenant Commander Bay was the first to recover. Sir, with weapons like these, we could take on entire fleets. That is exactly what we are going to do, Kim said. The Void Hunters operate in large groups. Bioships can regenerate damage and their weapons drain energy from enemy vessels, but they have never faced kinetic weapons or antimatter explosives. Commander Choi studied the tactical displays. Captain, if we have all these advantages, why are we going to the Crimson Nebula alone? We could ask for support from Earth Command. Kim smiled for the first time since the meeting began. Because Earth Command wants us to go alone. This mission is not just about stopping the Void Hunters, okay? It is about showing the galaxy that humanity is not weak. Dr. Park nodded. Every alien species in the Council thinks we are primitive. They give us their most dangerous assignment, expecting us to fail. When we succeed, everything changes. The balance of power in the galaxy will shift, Kim continued. No alien species would dare to mock humanity again. We will have earned our place among the great civilizations through strength, not diplomacy. Lieutenant Commander Lee looked excited. Sir, when do we reveal our true capabilities? When the first Void Hunter ship attacks us, Kim replied. Until then, we maintain the illusion of weakness. The meeting ended with the officers returning to their stations. Word spread quietly through the ship that the Indomitable was much more than it appeared. The crew began to walk with more confidence, knowing they served on one of the most powerful vessels ever built. 3 days later, the ship reached the edge of the Crimson Nebula. The space around them was filled with red gas clouds and strange energy readings. This was where alien fleets came to die. Captain, called Lieutenant Park from communications. We are receiving a transmission from the Hylian fleet. They want to know if we need rescue ships standing by. Kim looked at the swirling red clouds ahead of them. Tell them we will contact them when we are finished. Sir, what should I say when they ask, finished with what? Tell them they will know when they see it. Dr. Park looked up from her engineering station. All systems are at full readiness, Captain. The AI is online and the weapons are charged. Commander Choi reported from the tactical station. Sensors are detecting movement in the nebula. Something large is coming our way. Kim sat down in his command chair. How large? 12 contacts, Captain. They match Void Hunter signatures. Main screen showed 12 dark shapes moving through the red clouds. They were ugly things, looking more like giant insects than spaceships. Biomechanical tentacles writhed along their holes, and green lights pulsed from weapon ports. They think we are just another victim, Kim said quietly. Let them get close, Commander Choi said nervously. They are charging weapons. Steady, Commander. Wait for my order. The Void Hunter ships moved into attack formation. Their green weapons began to glow brighter as they prepared to drain the life from another enemy vessel. Kim watched the tactical display as the aliens positioned themselves for the kill. They had no idea that they were about to face something completely different from their usual prey. All stations, prepare for combat, Kim ordered. It is time to show the galaxy what humans can do. The first Void Hunter ship fired its energy weapon at the Indomitable. The green beam struck the hull and was immediately absorbed by the metamaterial armor. Instead of being drained, the human ship grew stronger. Return fire, Kim commanded. The railgun spoke for the first time. Speed and crossed the distance to the first Void Hunter ship in less than a second. The biomechanical hull that had protected the alien vessel for countless battles simply ceased to exist where the round hit Captain. Kim Tae-ho watched on the main screen as the enemy ship broke apart. Green fluid sprayed from the wound like blood from a dying animal. The Void Hunter vessel tried to regenerate the damage, but there was nothing left to regenerate. The entire middle section had been completely destroyed. Direct hit on target. 1. Reported weapons officer, Lieutenant Commander Lee Jamin. The ship is breaking apart. The remaining 11 Void Hunter vessels stopped their attack and seemed to hover in confusion. They had never seen one of their kind destroyed so quickly and completely. Their biomechanical minds tried to process what had just happened. Commander Choi Min-ho studied his tactical display. Captain, they are trying to communicate with each other. Their formation is changing. They are calling for help, Dr. Park Hae-won said from her engineering station. I am detecting long-range transmission signals. Kim nodded. This was exactly what he had expected. The Void Hunters always traveled in groups, and when one group found trouble, others would come to help. Soon this small battle would become something much larger. Let them call, Kim said calmly. We want their friends to come. The Void Hunter ships began moving again, but now they were more careful. Instead of charging straight at the Indomitable, they spread out and tried to surround the human vessel. Green energy weapons charged along their hulls as they prepared for a coordinated attack. 11 targets changing to attack formation, Commander Choi reported. They are trying to get behind us. Dr. Park, how are our systems responding to their energy drain weapons? Kim asked. Perfectly, Captain. The metamaterial hull is absorbing their energy and converting it to power. Our energy levels are actually increasing. The second wave of Void Hunter attacks came from 3 directions at once. Green beams struck the Indomitable from multiple angles. The alien crews expected to see the human ship slow down and lose power as its energy was drained away. Instead, the ship's engines burned brighter and its weapons charged faster. Turn fire, Kim ordered. All railguns, rapid fire pattern. 6 railgun turrets opened fire at once. Tungsten rounds streaked across space like silver lightning. Each round found its target with perfect accuracy, guided by the ship's advanced AI system. The Void Hunter ships had no defense against weapons that moved so fast and hit so hard. 3 more enemy vessels exploded in showers of green fluid and twisted metal. A 4th ship lost its entire front section, but somehow stayed alive, thrashing through space like a wounded beast. Lieutenant Commander Bae Yoon-hai monitored the security systems. Captain, the AI is tracking all targets simultaneously. It is predicting their movements before they make them. The Void Hunters have never fought an enemy like this, Dr. Park explained. Their biomechanical minds think in patterns. Our AI can read those patterns and counter them. The remaining 8 Void Hunter ships tried a different approach. They began moving in random directions, using the red gas clouds of the nebula as cover. Their strategy was to confuse the human targeting systems and attack from unexpected angles. Clever, Kim admitted. Key, but not clever enough. Dr. Park, activate the electromagnetic pulse system. EMP system online, Captain. The Indomitable released a focused electromagnetic pulse that swept through the surrounding space. The energy wave was carefully tuned to disrupt biomechanical systems while leaving human technology unaffected. Void Hunter's ships suddenly lost coordination as their organic computer systems were scrambled. Now, Kim commanded, "Hit them while they are confused." The railguns fired again and again. Each shot was perfectly aimed by the AI system. 2 more. Void Hunter ships were completely destroyed. A third lost its weapon systems and began drifting helplessly through space. Commander Choi looked up from his station with excitement. "Captain, we have destroyed 7 enemy vessels. Only 5 remain active, okay? And those 5 are trying to run away," added Lieutenant Commander Lee. Kim watched the surviving Void Hunter ships attempting to retreat deeper into the nebula. "Do not let them escape. We need to send a clear message." The chase lasted only a few minutes. The Indomitable was faster than the bioships, and its sensors could track them even through the dense gas clouds. One by one, the remaining Void Hunters were hunted down and destroyed. "All targets eliminated," Commander Choi reported. 12 enemy vessels destroyed, 0 human casualties. The bridge fell silent as the crew realized what they had just accomplished. They had faced a Void Hunter attack pack and won without taking any damage at all. This was something no alien fleet had ever managed to do. "Dr. Park, damage report," Kim requested. "No damage, Captain. In fact, our energy reserves are higher than when we started the battle. The enemy weapons actually made us stronger." Lieutenant Park Soo-jin looked up from her communication station. "Sir, I am receiving messages from the monitoring fleets. They want to know what happened." "What are they saying?" Kim asked. "High Commander Vextari is demanding a full report. War Chief Krennic is asking if we need medical assistance. Prime Admiral Sethlos wants confirmation that all 12 Void Hunter ships are really destroyed." Kim smiled. "Tell them the engagement was successful. All enemy vessels have been eliminated, sir. They are asking how that is possible with only 1 ship. Tell them that human technology is more advanced than they realized." While Lieutenant Park sent the messages, Dr. Park checked her long-range sensors. "Captain, I am detecting movement from deeper in the nebula. Something much larger is coming our way." Kim looked at the sensor display. New contacts were appearing on the screen. Not just a few ships this time, but dozens of them. The largest contact was truly massive, easily 10 times the size of the ships they had just fought. "How many?" Kim asked. 53 vessels, Captain. The largest one appears to be a Void Hunter carrier class. It is launching smaller ships as it approaches." Commander Choi studied the tactical display. "Sir, this is a full battle group. No single ship has ever survived an attack by this many Void Hunters." Kim stood up from his command chair and walked to the main screen. The red clouds of the nebula seemed to pulse with malevolent energy as the enemy fleet approached. This was exactly what he had hoped for. "Dr. Park, how many antimatter torpedoes do we have ready?" "All 48 are loaded and ready for launch." "Captain, excellent. Signal Earth Command. Tell them the second phase of the test is about to begin." Lieutenant Park sent the message while the crew prepared for the largest space battle any of them had ever seen. The alien monitoring fleets would soon witness something that would change their understanding of human military capability forever. "Captain," Commander Choi said nervously, 53 ships is a lot to handle, even for us." Kim watched the approaching enemy fleet on the tactical display. Each ship was a biomechanical monster designed to kill and devour other vessels. Together, they had destroyed entire alien battle groups. "Commander, do you remember what War Chief Krennic said about throwing rocks at the enemy?" "Yes, sir." Kim smiled as he returned to his command chair. He was right, but he never asked what kind of rocks we would throw. The Void Hunter battle group emerged from the red gas clouds like demons rising from hell. Their carrier ship was covered in tentacles and weapon ports. Smaller vessels swarmed around it, like angry insects. All stations, prepare for battle, Kim ordered. It is time to show the galaxy what antimatter can do. The enemy fleet began its attack approach, confident that sheer numbers would overwhelm the single human vessel. They had no idea that they were about to face weapons that could destroy entire squadrons with single shots. Kim waited until the Void Hunter formation was perfectly positioned. Fire antimatter torpedoes, full spread, 24 antimatter warheads, streaked toward the enemy fleet, each one carrying enough destructive power to vaporize a small moon. Contained enough compressed antimatter to power a city for a year. When they met normal matter, the result would be complete annihilation of both substances, releasing pure energy in amounts that defied imagination. Captain Kim Tae-ho watched the tactical display as the torpedoes closed in on the Void Hunter fleet. The enemy bioships detected the incoming weapons and began evasive maneuvers. Their organic hulls paused with alarm as primitive survival instincts warned them of approaching death. Time to impact, 15 seconds, reported Weapons Officer Lieutenant Commander Lee Jamin. The Void Hunter carrier ship tried to shoot down the torpedoes with its defensive weapons. Green energy beams lanced out toward the approaching warheads. The alien crews believed these were conventional explosive devices that could be destroyed or deflected. 10 seconds to impact. Lee continued. Commander Choi Min-ho monitored the enemy response from his tactical station. Captain, they are trying to form a defensive wall with their smaller ships. They think they can absorb the explosions. Kim almost felt sorry for them. The Void Hunters had no concept of antimatter weapons. No species in the galaxy used such dangerous technology in regular combat. Only humans had been reckless enough to weaponize the most destructive force in the universe. 5 seconds. Dr. Park Hae-won checked her instruments one final time. All torpedoes are functioning normally. Antimatter containment is stable. Impact. The first torpedo struck a Void Hunter destroyer near the edge of the enemy formation. For a brief moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then a new sun was born in the depths of space. The antimatter warhead released the energy equivalent of several nuclear weapons in a single instant. The destroyer and 2 nearby ships simply vanished, converted into pure energy and expanding. Plasma. The light was so bright that the Indomitable's main screen automatically dimmed to protect the crew's vision. Direct hit on enemy formation, Lee reported, his voice filled with awe. 3 ships destroyed by the first torpedo, but the first explosion was only the beginning. 23 more antimatter warheads found their targets across the Void Hunter fleet. Each detonation created a miniature star that consumed everything within a 5-kilometer radius. The effect was devastating beyond anything the aliens had ever witnessed. Void Hunter bioships that had survived countless battles were erased from existence in seconds. The massive carrier vessel took 2 direct hits and broke apart like a rotten piece of fruit. Enemy fleet strength decreasing rapidly, Commander Choi announced. 47 ships destroyed. 6 ships remaining. The surviving Void Hunter vessels were in complete chaos. Their biomechanical minds could not process the scale of destruction they had just witnessed. Ships that moments before had been part of a mighty fleet were now glowing clouds of superheated gas. Kim studied the tactical display with satisfaction. Status of remaining enemy vessels: 5 destroyers and 1 cruiser. Captain, lay up here. To be attempting to retreat. Do not let them escape. Use the railguns to finish them. The Indomitable pursued the fleeing Void Hunters through the red gas clouds of the nebula. The human ship was faster, and its sensors could track the biovessels even when they tried to hide. One by one, tungsten rounds found their targets and completed the destruction of the enemy fleet. All contacts eliminated, Commander Choi reported. 53 enemy vessels destroyed. Total human casualties remain at 0. Lieutenant Park Soo-jin looked up from her communications station with wide eyes. Captain, I am receiving priority transmissions from all the monitoring fleets. They are demanding immediate explanations. Put them through all channels at once, Kim ordered. The bridge filled with multiple alien voices, speaking over each other in panic and disbelief. High Commander Vextari's mechanical voice was higher than usual. Impossible, okay? No single ship can destroy an entire Void Hunter battle group. Your sensors must be malfunctioning. War Chief Krannick's deep rumble showed confusion instead of mockery. Human vessel, report your status. Do you require medical assistance for radiation poisoning from antimatter exposure? Prime Admiral Sethlos sounded like broken crystal music. The energy readings we detected were equivalent to stellar explosions. How did your primitive ship survive? Other alien voices joined the chaos. The Aquatic Union demanded technical specifications. The hive mind wanted to know if humans had discovered a new form of physics. The Silicon Lords asked if Earth had made contact with beings from outside the galaxy. Kim let the babble continue for a moment before responding. This is Captain Kim Taeho of the UES Indomitable. The Void Hunter threat in this sector has been eliminated. We are proceeding with our patrol mission. Captain Vextari's voice cut through the others. You must explain how you achieved this victory. The Hellion Empire demands technical details. Our methods are classified, Kim replied calmly. Art shares military technology only with trusted allies. War Chief Krannick's laughter had changed from mockery to something like respect. The Taurians wished to apologize for our earlier words. We underestimated human capabilities. Apology accepted, Kim said. The actions speak louder than words. Dr. Park looked up from her sensor readings. Captain, I am detecting massive movement from the galactic core. Something very large is heading this way. Kim felt his pulse quicken. This was what they had been waiting for. How large? Over 200 ships, Captain. The largest formation is 15 kilometers long. Amide, this appears to be the main Void Hunter Armada. The alien chatter stopped immediately. Every species in the monitoring fleets knew what this meant. The Void Hunters had never assembled a force this large before. It was their ultimate weapon, designed to destroy entire civilizations. Commander Choi studied his long-range sensors. Sir, that formation includes their flagship. Intelligence reports call it the World Eater. It has destroyed 3 alien home worlds. Kim walked to the main screen and stared out at the swirling red clouds of the nebula. Somewhere beyond those clouds, the most dangerous enemy in the galaxy was approaching. This would be the ultimate test of human technology and determination. Park, how many antimatter torpedoes do we have left? 24 remaining, Captain. Plus the special weapon. The special weapon. Kim had hoped they would not need to use it. The Quantum Cascade torpedo was humanity's most closely guarded secret. It had the power to change the balance of galactic civilization forever. Lieutenant Park transmitted the news to Earth Command while the alien fleets processed the implications. High Commander Vextari was the first to recover. Human Captain, you must retreat immediately. No force in the galaxy can face the World Eater and survive. We will send rescue ships to extract your crew. The Crystalline Confederation agrees, added Prime Admiral Sethlos. Your ship has proven its worth, okay? There is no shame in withdrawing from an impossible battle. War Chief Krannick's voice carried genuine concern. Captain Kim, the Taurians, respect your courage, but courage alone cannot defeat 200 ships. Save your crew while you still can. Kim listened to their warnings with growing amusement. Even after witnessing the destruction of 53 Void Hunter vessels, the aliens still thought in terms of conventional warfare. They could not imagine what humans were truly capable of. Thank you for your concern, Kim replied. But the Indomitable will complete its mission. What mission? Demanded Vextari. Your assignment was to patrol this sector. You have already exceeded all expectations. Kim smiled as he watched the red clouds begin to pulse with the approach of the enemy armada. Soon, the most feared force in the galaxy would face weapons beyond their comprehension. Our mission, Kim said quietly, is to show the galaxy that humanity is not weak. Dr. Park activated the ship's most powerful sensors. Captain, the enemy formation is entering the outer edge of the nebula. Estimated arrival time is 6 hours. Dr. Park, begin preparations for quantum cascade deployment. Yes, Captain. The device will be ready in 4 hours. Commander Choi looked nervous for the first time since the battle began. Sir, are we really going to use that weapon? Kim sat down in his command chair and studied the tactical projections. Over 200 Void Hunter ships, including their planet-killing flagship, were coming to destroy his single vessel. It was exactly the kind of impossible situation that humans specialized in winning. Commander, what did High Commander Vexteri call us at the council meeting? He said, we brought a metal coffin to a war of gods. Sir, Kim's smile grew wider. Then, let us show these gods what a human coffin can do. Stretched 15 kilometers from end to end, its dark hull covered with writhing tentacles and pulsing organic weapons. Behind it came wave after wave of Void Hunter vessels. Over 200 ships, forming the largest attack force the galaxy had ever seen. Captain Kim Tae-ho stood on the bridge of the Indomitable and watched the enemy armada approach. His small ship looked like a tiny speck compared to the World Eater, but he felt no fear. Hidden in his vessel's hull was a weapon that could rewrite the laws of physics themselves. Enemy formation entering attack range, reported Commander Choi Minho from his tactical station. The World Eater is moving to the center of their formation. Dr. Park Hae-won looked up from her engineering console. Captain, the quantum cascade torpedo is fully armed and ready. All safety systems are active. Kim nodded. The quantum cascade torpedo was humanity's most dangerous creation. It worked by destabilizing the quantum foam that existed at the smallest levels of reality. When detonated, it would create a chain reaction that could erase matter from existence at the subatomic level. How large will the effect be? Kim asked. The cascade field will expand in a sphere roughly 50 kilometers in diameter, Dr. Park replied. Anything caught inside will be completely removed from normal space-time. Lieutenant Park Soo-jin turned from her communications station. Captain, the alien monitoring fleets are begging us to retreat. High Commander Vextari, says the Hellion. Empire will consider us heroes if we withdraw now. Tell them to watch carefully, Kim said. They are about to witness the birth of a new galactic order. The Void Hunter Armada spread out across space in a formation designed to overwhelm any enemy through sheer numbers. The World Eater stayed in the center while smaller ships surrounded it in protective layers. Biomechanical weapons charged with deadly energy as the aliens prepared to devour another victim. Commander Choi studied his sensors. Sir, they are using the same formation that destroyed the Crystalline Home Fleet last year. They plan to drain our energy while the World Eater moves in for the killing blow. Kim walked to the main view screen and stared at the approaching enemy. The World Eater's massive bulk blocked out the stars behind it. Tentacles along its hull reached toward the Indomitable like grasping fingers. Dr. Park, target the World Eater with the quantum cascade torpedo. Wait for my command to fire. Torpedo targeted and ready, Captain. The first wave of Void Hunter ships opened fire. Green energy beams reached across space toward the human vessel. The metamaterial hull absorbed the energy and converted it to power, making the Indomitable stronger with each attack. Energy levels increasing, Dr. Park reported. The enemy weapons are charging our systems. More Void Hunter ships joined the attack. Dozens of energy beams struck the human vessel from all directions. The aliens expected to see their target slow down and lose power. Instead, the Indomitable's engines burned brighter as its energy reserves grew. The World Eater began moving forward, confident that its prey was being weakened for easy consumption. The massive bioship had destroyed planets with the same tactics. It saw no reason why this battle would be different. Kim waited until the enemy formation was perfectly positioned. The Void Hunters had moved into a tight cluster around their flagship, exactly where he wanted them. All alien monitoring fleets. This is Captain Kim Tae-ho, he announced on all frequencies. You are about to see why humanity does not fear the darkness. High Commander Vextari's voice crackled through the speakers. Captain, what are you doing? That formation will destroy you in minutes. No, Kim replied calmly. It will not. He turned to Dr. Park, fired the quantum cascade torpedo. The weapon launched from the Indomitable like a silver dart. It looked small and harmless compared to the massive ships around it. The Void Hunters detected the approaching torpedo and fired their defensive weapons at it. Energy beams struck the warhead, but passed through it harmlessly. Impact in 10 seconds. Dr. Park announced. The torpedo reached the World Eater and penetrated its biomechanical hull. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then reality itself began to unravel. The quantum cascade started as a tiny sphere of absolute nothingness at the heart of the World Eater. The effect spread outward at the speed of light, consuming everything it touched. The massive bioship did not explode or burn. It simply ceased to exist as the cascade erased it from the universe. Cascade, field expanding, Dr. Park reported. 30 kilometers and growing. The Void Hunter ships around the World Eater tried to flee, but the cascade field moved faster than they could escape. One by one, the bio vessels vanished into nothingness as the expanding sphere of destruction consumed them. Commander Choi watched in amazement as his tactical display showed. Contacts disappearing. 50 ships gone, 70 ships gone, 100 ships gone. The cascade field continued expanding until it reached its maximum size. When it finally stopped, a perfect sphere of empty space 50 kilometers across marked where the Void Hunter Armada had been. Over 200 ships, including their planet-killing flagship, had been completely erased from existence. All enemy contacts eliminated, Commander Choi reported in a whisper. Total enemy casualties, 203 ships. Human casualties, 0. The bridge fell silent as the crew realized what they had just witnessed. The most feared force in the galaxy had been annihilated by a single weapon. The Void Hunters, who had terrorized civilizations for centuries, were no more. Lieutenant Park looked up from her communication station. Captain, I am receiving transmissions from every alien fleet in the monitoring group. They are all requesting immediate diplomatic conferences. Kim smiled as he listened to the alien voices speaking over each other. The mockery and insults were gone, replaced by fear and desperate respect. War Chief Krannick's voice carried none of its previous arrogance. Captain Kim, the Taurian hegemony formally requests a military alliance with Earth. We offer tribute and vassalage to the human empire. Prime Admiral Zethlos sounded like crystal bells ringing in panic. The Crystalline Confederation surrenders all territorial claims in this sector to humanity. Please inform us of your terms for peace. High Commander Vextari's mechanical voice shook with fear. The Helian Empire acknowledges human superiority in all matters. You beg for mercy and friendship. One by one, every alien species in the monitoring fleets offered submission to Earth. The balance of galactic power had shifted in a single moment. Kim activated the General Communication Channel. This is Captain Kim Tae-ho of the United Earth. Ship Indomitable. Earth does not seek conquest or submission. Quink, We seek only respect and equality among the galactic civilizations. Have it, came the immediate reply from a dozen alien voices. Dr. Park checked her long-range sensors. Captain, I am detecting multiple fleets approaching from all directions. It appears that word of our victory is spreading quickly. Commander Choi studied the new contacts. Sir, those are not Void Hunter ships. They appear to be representatives from species we have never encountered before. Kim nodded. News of humanity's victory would spread across the galaxy within days. Species that had hidden from the Void Hunters would now seek alliance with the force that destroyed them. Set course for Earth, Kim ordered. Our mission here is complete. As the Indomitable turned toward home, Kim looked out at the empty space where the Void Hunter Armada had been. The quantum cascade had left no trace of their existence except for the silence where their screams had been. Captain, Dr. Park said quietly, what happens now? Kim thought about the dozens of new human warships being built in Earth's orbital shipyards. Each one would be more advanced than the Indomitable. Humanity had revealed its hand, and the galaxy would never be the same. He said, the real work begins. We have earned our place among the stars through strength. We must prove we deserve it through wisdom. The Indomitable jumped to faster-than-light travel, carrying news of humanity's victory back to Earth. Behind them, alien fleets gathered in the empty space where the Void Hunters had died, trying to understand how the galaxy had changed so completely in a single day. In the depths of space, other civilizations received word that the age of human weakness was over. The species that had been mocked for bringing primitive weapons to a war of gods had just proven that sometimes the gods themselves could be wrong. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again.